have left? Oh, Stuttering John.
Yeah,
right?
that one's gonna take a while too, I think.
I think we'll breeze through it because it's a lot of John's greatest hits. I just thought it was funny that he was on. I messaged our friend Doom. This is courtesy of the. Blah, 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 blah. This is courtesy of the great Doom, DOOMSPAYUH, Doomspayer, on YouTube. And I messaged him. I was like, "Is this recent?" Because it feels like something John might have done a long time ago.
Oh, it's recent.
But no, and in fact, it is from this week. John is going on tour with his stand-up, and he's out promoting it on local news. My assumption is this guy or someone else at the TV station who's a big Howard Stern fan, doesn't know what John's been up to, and was just like, holy shit, a guy from the Stern Show wants to come on. Absolutely. And then they got this disheveled mess.
Well, if you listened to Howard Stern back in the day when he was entertaining, you probably heard this
Nice.
guy on quite a bit.
Okay, this guy is a Stern fan for sure.
Absolutely.
The announcer for Jay Leno on Tonight Show. Well, now he's doing a lot of busy things on his own. We're talking, of course, about...
Name some. Name like three.
Stuttering John Melendez.
How you doing, man?
John, thanks so much for coming on our show.
Thank you for having me.
You have no idea. Back in the day when I was just a young, dumb college student, we would sit around the radio like old people and listen to Howard and your bits, and we would just laugh ourselves silly. The stuff you did on that show was crazy, and we loved it.
Oh, yeah. I used to do...
I gotta say something. All true.
Yeah.
Like if you just took John on the Stern Show, he would be a beloved character.
Mm-hmm.
He actually seemed like a guy that knew how to take a beating back then. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, he seems normal here.
Like on the Howard Stern Show, like I think I wasn't listening at that time. I was just a boy. But I believe the thought of John at that time was like, this guy can really take a punch and dish it out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And look at what he's become. It'd be great if this newscaster was so in on it that this was just like Jerry Springer, Maury Povich style. Where he's like, Lady K, come on out.
Oh, that'd be so funny. But John can take a joke if it's someone he deems above him.
Well, that's ultimately what all this is.
Right.
Is that if Howard Stern or Jay Leno said what Carl did that fateful day in 2018 or whatever it was, water off well, you know what? Here's where that goes away a little bit. He wouldn't take a joke from Artie Lang. I think you needed to not only be above him in the business, but like in an authority role over him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like someone that could do something for, like Artie wasn't doing anything for John. So when Artie would make fun of him, or actually Artie was doing a lot for John, just having John on Artie's podcast is doing John a favor, but John doesn't see it that way. So like if there's a glaring opportunity that you can offer John, he is able to take that punch just from like if this guy started busting John's balls, John's storming out, which would have been great, but
wacky celebrity interviews, like one of my favorites, which I always wanted to get, a music career. I'd like to always get some kind of record deal, but then I had to go up to Ringo Starr at a big packed press conference and go, Ringo, what did you do with the money? And he goes, what money? And I said, the money that your mom gave you for singing lessons.
Does John think that impacted his music career?
Seems so.
Did you hear that?
Oh yeah.
He goes, I always wanted a big record contract, but I had to go up to Ringo Starr. As if that was the day, like, Ringo called Jim Music and was like, cancel the Melendez deal. He's out. No more success in music for this guy.
I do like that he all of a sudden is stuttering again.
Oh, well, that's because people have pointed out there was a clip of from early Stern, like I think John's first appearance, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I think Carl probably played it, and they're like, they bring him into the studio, and he's having a normal conversation, and Howard's like, "Oh, you don't even really stutter. I thought you stuttered. That's kind of disappointing." And immediately John goes, "Well, sometimes I stutter." Like right there, it comes, and Howard's like, "Oh, okay, very good."
I feel like
So coincidentally, when Howard pointed out that you don't stutter, all of a sudden it started.
I think it's more like when he's nervous. Like, when was the last time he was on fucking television?
Right. Yeah, I think it's more nerve related.
Oh, but I asked all these crazy questions.
I don't know how you did it and survived, because the stuff you would ask was, I can't believe you just got away with it. I mean,
Can I rebut that a little bit?
This guy's already regretting having him on.
This guy is nothing. Yeah. But can I rebut that point? Like, I'll give John credit. And again, that is a skill. It's the Schaub skill that we were talking about that Schaub doesn't have.
Right.
Like John was able to take a punch on that show. That's a skill. And also just I think in John's case, it was just like an ego that was so blinding to anything else. He's like, oh, if this will get me success, I'll just do it. I don't care if it's ruining someone's day. But when they're like, the balls it takes, I never understood why was Ted Williams offended that John said, hey, do you ever fart in the catcher's face? Like, why is that a defensive question?
What a brilliant question, though.
Really takes a great mind like Jackie Martling to come up with something like that.
Let's go ask a drummer about his singing lessons.
Well, like, listen, no, the Ringo Starr question is like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like, just because it catches you off guard, you're not expecting him to say it. But like, John's about to give an example where it's like, why was this like so controversial? Like, oh my God, I can't believe he said this to him. Listen to his example.
Lama.
Yeah, I
Remember
asked
Mr. Rogers.
I asked the Dalai Lama, do people go up to you and say, hello, Dolly?
Right. You prank.
Like, what's the Dalai Lama going to do? Choke him out? You bitch!
Fuck you.
How dare you say something like that to me? I don't get why it's an offensive question, really.
Secret Service at your door.
Yeah. I had a 5-minute phone call with Donald Trump, pretending I was sending Bob Menendez.
Oh, God.
Senatorial. I sound janitorial.
John has used that line conservatively 6,000 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I'm not counting up every single one. So I'm sure if you want to challenge me on the numbers and be like, actually, Mike, it's 8,432, then I'll have egg on my face. But I'm gonna lowball and say he's probably used that joke about 6,000 times. And it's like when you're in the mind of John, listen, I've watched enough interviews with a lot of these old, like Rickles used the same lines in 10 million interviews, you know?
Right.
But usually they're pretty good lines.
Right.
It's like when they're not even getting a laugh, maybe throw it out of the arsenal. I don't sound senatorial, I sound janitorial.
His tongue keeps falling out of his face during this interview, too.
Oh, good.
Kathy Griffin's calling me.
Oh, my.
Wow, what a day that must have been.
You've had a good career. I mean, you were on Jay Leno for a number of years. I remember back when I first started here at FMJ, at night we would pitch to the Tonight Show, and there's your voice introducing the
kind of a sad moment when you have to go, and you've had a great career. You're not talking about anything the guy's doing.
I know.
You're like, you had some years there, huh?
It would have been very funny, too, if this guy snuck in, like he was into the Dabbleverse, and he was like, when I started here at FSJ, that would have been good.
He's got potatoes out on the table.
Imagine the Tonight Show hired a stutterer to be their announcer. I mean, that's like entrusting Charlie Sheen with your Coke.
No, it isn't.
No, John.
Oh my God, this is psychotic.
Let me break that down for a moment. Trusting a stutterer with the Tonight Show is like entrusting Charlie Sheen with your Coke. Charlie Sheen would do the Coke. That would be the danger, right?
Yep.
So hiring a stutterer for the Tonight Show would imply that he'll do the job?
Or he'll steal the show.
Like, I don't get how is it like that in any way?
Stutterer to be their announcer. I mean, that's like entrusting Charlie Sheen with your Coke.
No, it isn't. If you couldn't do it, they would just have someone else do it.
No shit.
It's not like that at all.
Real timely references, too.
Well, that's true. Yeah, Charlie Sheen is top of mind for everybody these days.
Maybe you.
No, I'm only kidding. I know there's a police station.
Yeah, right across the street. Watch out.
Yeah, I'm only kidding. But that it was. I couldn't believe it that they hired me. But I loved it. Jay was such a great guy.
Yeah, like I was saying, we had Jay here in our studio a few years back, and real nice guy. So you know what?
Nice.
Your best memory.
Nice.
If John had any, he'd been like, cool.
Boy, the chemistry between these two is off the charts.
I know.
Jay Leno, nice guy.
You know what's funny? Because I stutter. Obviously, it's not an act, although people think it's an act. But
it's a dig at the dues payer. Who are these people, John?
That'd be great if he just started going off on Shuley on television.
You seen this shitware? John, we're gonna have to bleep that. Please stop.
Doing a thing called. See, I'm stuttering on this. It's called a Beach Games, and I had to. So they had a picture from the Angels, Jared Washburn,
and the guy wears a puppet on his head. He doesn't even show his real face. He wears a puppet, and he does this voice. He calls it Tukey, and he's not even. His name is Rocco, and he lives in Colorado.
But what he's doing right now would be like if you were on the show and you were like, yeah, so every Sunday you can as you can see, I'm blind. We have a show. Like you just you see I'm stuttering.
I noticed you had a ping pong table downstairs. I don't know if you have any interesting ping pong stories.
It's a Byron Allen show now.
Mike, I've got my wallet here. I'm going to I want you to take a look at my ID. Can I toss it to you?
Filled suntan lotion filled balloons out my back. And I was going to say, when Jay says, are you nervous? I was going to say, don't worry, Jay, he's no Mariano Rivera. Why I put the two hardest consonants together, but he's my favorite pitcher. So then there we go. All right, John, are you worried? I go, no, Jay, don't worry. He's no Randy Johnson. So I had to just come up with something else.
What a moment.
John. All right, so the reason you're here is because you're in town tonight. You're doing stand-up at the Funny Farm. So
just so lest anyone think we're just friends, I want people to know there's a reason this mess is in my studio.
What's happening tonight over at the Funny Farm?
Yeah, the show starts at 8. It's me and it's a Stuttering John and Friends tour, though I don't know any of the comics.
Oh my God. Oh my.
Why promote it like that?
So he's actually going to follow real comics?
I guess, yeah. I mean, I assume these are like borderline open mic level people.
It'd still be better.
I would think, yeah. But why would you promote that? Why call it Stuttering John and Friends? And I know the answer is that people will buy tickets hoping they'll see Beetlejuice or High Pitch Eric there, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe Nick DiPaolo and Artie Lang will be on the lineup. But like that's why you call it that. But John's like, hey, it's called Stuttering John and Friends. I don't know any of these losers.
Do you think like people are going to remember the old tour?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, definitely.
Jesus.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Even let's say that's true. You have no pride in what that was. You have no pride in saying like, well, I had Jim Norton and Nick DiPaolo and all like these great comics on the lineup, and now I have Craig Acone. Legitimately, you could probably get on this thing.
I definitely could. I'd feel comfortable doing it too.
Craig would crush.
I would crush. He'd be like, "You went over your 7 minutes. I don't want to fucking talk to you ever again."
Could Chris Acone get on?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, good.
Maybe.
So let's see if we can make that happen.
The creator of the Stuttering John podcast.
Yeah.
Dave, the owner's a great guy, and I've been doing stand-up for 25 years now. And you know, I talk about aging and about dyeing my hair, although as I call it, glazing. It's not as it's not as effeminate as
I'm not some queer.
Everything.
Make sure you get that right. By the way, I have a trans and gay child.
My kid is gay as hell. I can say whatever I want.
I'm not some pussy namby-pamby homo that would glaze his hair.
Saying you have glaze in your hair is infinitely gayer, by the way.
Than just saying you dye it?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, it sounds like cum. It literally sounds like someone jizzed in your hair.
Someone new to the show just said, Craig has a brother. Oh no.
You got to go deep into the archives for that one.
Yeah.
I don't even know where you'd find that. I don't know what episode it was.
I don't either. It was probably called Chris Acone, to be honest, or something like that.
Maybe that would make sense. Yeah.
Childbirth, child rearing, and just I cover and dating, online dating, because I'm divorced now.
It's all topical stuff. I talk about childbirth. My youngest is 19.
Showed up to the date and she meant one curve. She was built like a basketball. But I get like it's.
Hold on one second. I'm just doing some math here. It's about childbirth. That's one of the topics he discussed.
Why?
His youngest kid is 19. His
Yep.
oldest, I think, is like 28 or something.
Yeah, he remembers.
Maybe
Like-
older. No, well, I'm just doing math. He said he's been doing stand-up for 25 years. These are literally the first jokes he's written. He hasn't changed his act since he started stand-up.
This freeze frame with his tongue fucking hanging out of his face is pretty funny.
Well, as the great Vinnie Paulino always says, you can drop the needle anywhere, and it's a great image of Stuttering John.
You stand up?
no online dating.
I've been married for over 20 years, John.
Oh, okay.
How big are her tits?
Respectfully, I would fuck her in front of you.
You still fucking?
No, I don't know how you do it.
I just do what I'm told. That's what you have to do.
Well, yeah.
Right, you don't know his wife. Maybe he likes her.
John just laughed at that and downloaded it, and I guarantee you heard it at the Funny Farm.
By the way, what a hilarious! That sounds like a joke. It doesn't sound like a real comedy club.
No.
It sounds like what you'd say as a joke, like when your career's not. I'm going to be at the fucking Funny Farm tomorrow night.
Well, he's not only a couch picture sender. Box Eating Dad sent the episodes called "Blown Away" from 2001, December 6, 2001, the Chris Acone episode.
Blown away. I wonder why.
Because because the lady introduced me by being like, "He's so funny. He's always blown me away."
Oh.
and then says, "Everybody, Chris Acone."
Well, since we've talked about, for anyone that doesn't know, because that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
when in 2001? Did he say the date?
December 6th was that episode, so it was probably the
Okay,
week
so almost a year, basically a year into the show.
Mhm.
Craig was doing stand-up, and he was introduced. The woman brought him on stage, and she goes, "Ladies and gentlemen." By the way, no one was listening to the show. Now we're not a big show. It was smaller then.
I know.
And this woman goes, "You know him as the creator of the Blind Mike Project," which mildly enraged me. But then this did smooth it out a little bit, because she goes, "Chris Acone."
It was not only that; it was, this guy's so fucking funny.
Oh yeah, he blows me away.
He blows me away. Created the Blind Mike Project, Chris Acone.
Go back and listen to that. I'm sure it stinks. I have no idea what's on that episode, but go check it out.
All those kind of things, just observational, things that I see that I'll talk about, and all the celebrities that I've met.
Things that I see. There's a chair. There's a table.
We got to get a new section on the Discord where people can send pictures of their couches.
That would be fun. Just couch talk.
So I come bucket, set that up, will you?
Yeah, please.
I bet you got some stories, and we're looking forward to hearing those when you have the show there tonight and tomorrow over at the Funny Farm. $25, you can't beat that.
No,
for a night of comedy.
No, it's
pretty standard.
I do an hour-long set, but with the stutter, it's only 5 jokes.
All right, John, thanks so much.
John, we're listening to you talk now.
It's tough.
It's a pleasure. All right, thanks for all the laughs over the years. All right, we'll have more.
Not today in particular, but back then.
All the laughs over the years, not today.
No, but if you add them all up, it's still a lot of laughs. So.
Yeah. I had a good time when I was younger listening to you.
Yeah, it was good to see John back. I wish he would do more. Oh, I wanted to say this to all the people watching this out there. I should have said this earlier in the segment, but folks, if you're still with us, please. You know how we were talking about Anthony Cumia and how WABC gave him more opportunities because they were like, "Oh, holy shit, this is getting way more downloads than we expected. Our tweets are getting engaged with more, blah, blah, blah." do that with every appearance Stuttering John makes.
Yes.
Don't get his gigs canceled, you fucking idiots. Go make John a star. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Go on these websites. Anytime John makes an appearance, it won't make a big difference at first, but word will spread. If this gets 10 times the hits of their usual like boring local news segment, word will travel. Let's make John a star, for the love of God. Who's with me? Come on.
Dude.
Wouldn't that be great if people started saying, we got to get this Melendez guy?
Go to blindmike.net for everything Blind Mike. Look at me. I did it. Kragers did it.